turn the toes straight ahead. And make sure the heels of your feet are opened out as wide as your pinky toes. And for a moment, just wiggle your toes around, because we don't do that a whole lot, even though this class is all about your hips, your lower back, everything from the bottom down. So all our receptors, as far as our balance, all are at our ankles, feet. Let's wiggle those toes around. This helps our balance. Be silly about it. And then lift all of your toes up. Spread the toes out wide apart. Are you being a tight ass? Relax your butt muscles. Wiggle them. Keep those toes up and breathe. Now try to think about this. It may take at least 5 million times before it happens. Try to drop your pinky toe all the way down to your big toe. And once your feet land, once those toes land, we're going to lift the heels of the feet up just enough so I could take a piece of paper out from underneath. Breathe. Drop the feet down. Lift the insides of the feet up. Spread the toes wide. And then drop your feet down. Lift the outsides of your feet up. Now your knees are going to want to knock inward. Press back with your inner thighs. Pull your tummy in and up. By the way, are you being a tight ass? Relax your butt. Now drop the feet down. Lift all the toes up. Spread the toes wide. And try again. Pinky toe all the way down to your big toe. Now once the feet have landed, let the arms hang. With an inhale, and don't jam the shoulders up, just gently. With an inhale, let's bring the shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, let them fall. Try it again. Inhale, bring the shoulders up. Exhale, let them fall. One more time. Inhale, bring them up. Let them fall. Let your arms hang and just start to move at the waist. Let your arms hit your body. They're wet washcloths. No muscle energy at all. Make sure your knees are soft. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Let your hands flop on your body. This is awakening your nervous system, especially if you've been sitting all day or even standing all day at work. This is great because just like your butt, your face, your boobs get pulled down by gravity, even your height. I'm an inch shorter. What the heck? Everything gets pulled down. So does your spinal fluid. Your nervous system gets pinched off because of your tight ass. You're breathing through your nose and letting the hips relax. And don't smack yourself hard. You don't deserve that. This is gentle. Just a little pat. Now, we're keeping the movement. It's gentle. It's not deep. Don't push it. Let it be gentle. When we stop, it's like when we were children and we spun around. You're going to find it hard to find the balance. But this is the secret to keeping your balance. This is one of the 5 movements that keep your body healthy. Oh, 3,000 yoga poses are all fine and dandy. You only need 5. This happens to be one of them. Keep breathing. Now, when we do stop, if you can, you're going to keep your eyes closed and you're going to rock and you're going to move, and then you're going to move in a circle until the body rights itself. You can open your eyes at any time and you can certainly hold on to some furniture, but we're going to come back to center now. Eyes are closed and now you're going to feel tingling in the body, Movement, even though you're trying to hold still. Don't hold still. Let your body move. Let your ankles feel the movement. Let your feet respond to it. That's why we woke them up first. And then all of a sudden, you're going to right yourself. Doesn't take long, does it? The tingling is still in the hands. We're going to turn the palms out to the side, pinkies forward. And with an inhale, we're going to lift the hands all the way up. And on your exhale, we're going to press the air all the way down. Turn the palms out. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Turn the palms out. Inhale, let's lift it up. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Now, with a deep breath in, bring your hands all the way up. Turn your palms out. Bring the hands down by your side. Draw the shoulders up, back, and down. Bending at your hip crease, sticking your butt out. Bend your knees, put your tummy down onto your thighs. Let your hands rest on the floor. So your knees can be bent a lot. They could be bent a little bit. What feels best to you? Let the belly rest on your thighs, but most important, let your head hang. Let it stretch your neck. Let the hands rest on the floor, and if they don't touch the floor, grab a yoga prop, even if it's as small as a rolled up blanket. Put your hands on it. Your hands need to touch something. Shoulders relax. Let your neck be soft. Let it release. For my stretchy friends, you can play with straightening your legs. Take a deep breath in and let it out with a great big sigh. Please take this moment to balance your breath with your mind and your body. Take a deep breath in, let it out with a big sigh as you're hanging. Turn your palms out in front of you. With an inhale, knees are bent, use your arms like wings, pull your tummy in. Let's inhale, lift up, touch your hands right over your head. Exhale, melt your hands to your heart. Namaste. Now we're going to gently release your hands all the way down. Turn the palms out. We're going to relax the shoulders together. Feel the shoulder blades come together. This is for our neck and our shoulders. We're going to exhale. Turn the palms the opposite way and tuck your chin. Exaggerate that stretch through your shoulder blades. Arms are straight and you're breathing. Now turn the palms out. Look forward. Shoulder blades come together. No tight asses. Relax your butt muscles. Don't look up to the ceiling. Look straight ahead. Are you breathing? Feel the shoulder blades on your back body. Now we're going to exhale. We're going to round it and tuck it. Inhale. Bring your palms out. Look forward. Exhale. Round it and tuck the chin. Inhale. Look forward. Palms out. Exhale. Round it and tuck it. One more time. We're going to inhale. Open the palms out. And now on your exhale, round it and tuck it and hold it. Tuck the chin. Feel that stretch through the shoulders. Turn the palms out on an inhale and bring your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Bring your hands to your heart. Turn your fingers in. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Relax your shoulders. Bring them up. Relax your shoulders. Turn your fingers down. Keep breathing. Your fingers may not go straight down. Heels of your hands stay together. Bring your shoulders up. Exhale, relax them. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, relax them. Now we're going to reach our hands out in front of us, turn the palms out up to the ceiling, spread your fingers wide, bring the backs of your hands together and shoot your fingertips out. Drop your hands down, open your hands out like a book, spread your fingers and bring the backs of your hands together and shoot your fingertips out. Now we're going to bring our hands back behind you. Interlace your hands. Press your knuckles to the floor. Press back with your inner thighs. Pull the tummy in and up. Draw the shoulder blades back and take the hands back as far from your hips as you can. Gently look over one shoulder on an exhale. Inhale, bring your nose to center. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, look over the opposite shoulder. Hold it, keep breathing. Inhale, bring your nose to center. And one more time, go to the second side. Hold it, keep breathing. Inhale, bring your nose to center. Exhale, tilt one ear towards the shoulder. Inhale, up. Exhale the other ear gently. Inhale, bring the head up and exhale to the first side. Now hold it and keep breathing. Draw the shoulder blades out of your ears. Take the hands back. If you want to, open your eyes and look upward to the ceiling. And then slowly rotate your nose downward to the floor. Tuck your chin to your chest. And inhale, lift your head up. Exhale, drop it to the other side. Hold it, keep breathing. If it feels good, open your eyes, look out the opposite side up to the ceiling. Lift the chin a little bit. Press the knuckles down. Just gently and slowly rotate your nose downward to the floor. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Your arms probably relaxed. Or go ahead and take them out. Now relax your arms down by your side. And with an inhale, draw your shoulders forward. And with an inhale, we're going to bring our shoulders to our ears. Lift your head up. Relax your shoulders back and down. Now, if I've hurt anybody right now, pop on, let me know. I know that was a little different in neck and shoulders. So we're going to add breath of joy with this, and then we're going to do standing camel, which is what I wanted to practice. It goes right in line with doing this next series. So let me just demonstrate breath of joy. Some of you have done this with me, and some of you do not want to go all the way to the floor. No, no, no. Some of you want to be upright. So let me demonstrate. It's a 3-part inhalation and a big let go on the exhalation. So we're going to inhale, arms up. We take another breath in, out. We bring the arms back up and we let it out with a big sound. So you may stand up and just go, ha, and then you repeat it. Now, if you come down, we inhale up. We inhale out, we inhale up, and then we let it out with a big sound with a forward fold with the knees bent, and we go, ha! And then we come up and repeat it. So don't go any lower than it feels good. It helps release neck and shoulder tension. It's a wonderful breath work, and it helps you if you're a little pissed off too. So make sure the heels of your feet are opened out. Make sure that your butt muscles are relaxed. Press back with your inner thighs. Pull your tummy in. Keep your hips relaxed. 3-part inhalation. So we inhale, arms up. We inhale, arms out. We inhale back up. And then we exhale with it out loud, either standing up or go, up, out, up, ha, 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 up, out, up, ha. Now, whether you're standing or you're all the way to the floor, let your shoulders hang forward, let your head hang forward. Take a deep breath, whether you're standing. And if you're standing, maybe you come into the standing forward fold with your knees bent. You don't have to. Turn the palms out. With an inhale, use your arms like wings. Bring the hands up. Touch your hands. Turn your hands out and bring them by your hips. Roll your shoulders. Neck and shoulders have gotten a workout. So now, camel pose. Not everybody likes to experience on their knees. We're going to take it on our feet first. If you want to stay on your feet, you can. If you want to come to your knees, you can come to your knees. But first, we're standing on our feet, and we're going to feel this. Camel pose is part of the Yin series. It's upper back. So right behind your heart, those vertebrae, 2 vertebrae, don't move like the rest of them because they're protecting your heart. So this is a back bend from the heart all the way up, okay? Where we do back bends, our Sphinx pose is from the heart all the way to the tail. Different back bend. When you add the 2 of them, it becomes wheel, full back bend. So what we're going to do is draw the shoulder blades forward, tuck your chin, and your hands are going to touch the front of your thighs. Now, with an inhale, draw your shoulders to your ears. Bring your shoulders up, lift your head up, and on the exhale, take your shoulders back and down, and your hands are going to be either at your butt or at the side of your hips, and bring your hands all the way down. That's camel pose. Shoulders, upper back, thoracic spine. Tuck your chin, shoulders forward. With an inhale, shoulders lift up to your ears, lift your head up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Now we're going to stick our hands in our pretend back pocket. Again, make sure the heels are out. And even if you think they are, look at your feet. They may not be there. Make sure the toes are straight ahead and wiggle your toes. Tuck your chin. Draw your shoulder blades forward. Feel that stretch across the back of your neck. Now, with an inhale, lift your shoulders up, lift your head up. Exhale, bend your elbows and draw the shoulders back and down, and your hands are right at your back pocket. Now, once you have them there, hold them there. Press back with your inner thighs, pull the tummy in and up, draw the shoulder blades together. Now we're going to release them. You can continue to do that, or you can come down and meet me on your knees. So once you're in the position that you choose to be in, we're going to tuck our chin, draw the shoulder blades forward. With an inhale, bring your shoulders to your ears, look forward, bend your elbows, and exhale, put your hands in your back pocket and look up. Just at that spot between the wall and the ceiling. Your chest is lifted. You're pressing your hips forward slightly with your hands. Relax your butt muscles. Now we're going to put our hands to the front of our thighs. If you're on your knees, please come all the way back and down into hero's pose. We're going to try it 2 more times so you can stay standing or on your knees. Come forward, roll your toes under, stand up high. We're going to tuck our chin down into our chest, roll the shoulder blades forward. Inhale, lift your shoulders up, lift your head up, bend those elbows, draw those hands down into your back pocket. And if it feels good, keep breathing, stay here. And maybe if you're on your knees, you can put one hand on your ankle, then the other hand. Draw the shoulder blades together. Feel that extra lovely stretch in your quadricep. You're welcome. Now we're going to tuck our chin into our chest, release your feet, and set back onto the heels of your feet. Again, you can be standing up, just simply putting your hand in your back pocket. We have one more. You can keep your feet relaxed, or roll your toes under, or stand up, or just meet us sitting down on the floor. We're going to come all the way up, relax the toes or roll them under. We're coming up the way we did before. We're going to tuck the chin, shoulder blades forward with an inhale. Shoulders lift up, lift your head up, bend your elbows, slide your hands in your back pocket. Keep breathing. Make sure you're okay. Make sure your neck is okay. If it's not, tuck your chin and come out of it. If it feels good, maybe you drop your hand to your heel. Remember, this is upper back, not your lower back. Take one more breath, and then we're going to release the hands. We're going to tuck our chin into our chest, and we're going to come all the way down. We're going to meet each other in the child's pose you choose, on your back or on your knees. Take a couple of breaths in your child's pose. Breathe here. Now, since we've already opened our backs, let's go all the way to the lower back. Let's come all the way down onto our tummies and get our Sphinx pose. Miss Jill, make sure you're okay in Sphinx. If you need to put a folded blanket underneath your hips because it's hurting your lower back, please do. We're going to stack the hands and let your forehead rest on your hands. You're going to rock your hips from side to side to make sure they're relaxed. Heels of your feet are flopped outward. We are going to come up onto our elbows if it feels good. Remember, this may not be where you're at today. Maybe you're back down with your forehead on your hands. Maybe you have a rolled up blanket right underneath your bra line so it lifts your chest, but you come back down with your head on your hands. Whatever feels best to you, make sure you're comfortable. No tight asses. We were just in your upper back, now we're in your lower back. So if you've got a neck issue, so Miss Lynn, I would definitely grab your yoga block or a pillow and maybe put that block underneath your forehead. I hope that series was right for your neck and shoulders. I kind of felt like that might be what you need. So please stay on afterwards and give me some feedback or pop on and say, that was horrible. Don't ever do that to me again. Now your time has been set. It is a 5-minute pose. Camel pose is not meant to be held. It's meant for us to do. So we do like 3 to 6 of them and we hold them for a few deep breaths. We will be playing with a little more of them because we haven't been doing enough of them. Relax your rib cage. Relax your hip bones. As you're breathing in Sphinx pose, are you noticing areas that feel tight that you're holding on to? Let them go. You could lower your head down lower on the prop if that felt better. Keep the heels of the feet relaxed out and breathe. Breathe deep into the lower back. And since we're here for this amount of time, take the time to feel the breath. Feel the inhalation raise the body up. It expands you. And really focus on the exhalation and feel yourself melt and release further down. Try this a few times and really experience that breath. The inhalation, the rise, but more important, feel the release on the exhalation. Everything should be relaxed, no muscle energy. So with working with bodies for as many years as I have, there are some people that walk around with no muscle energy at all. It's amazing. It just looks like their bones are not even connected. They're just walking around with no muscle energy. And then other people have such tight muscle energy. They are so tight that it just feels so rigid looking at them. So in this case, we want to have that bag of bones. We don't want to have any rigidness. It doesn't mean there's not times we want to feel that. Right now, we want to let go and release the lower back. We're on our last few breaths of this pose, kids. So if you wanted to work with the neck a little bit more, get rid of your yoga prop. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Little, slow, no movements. Please don't do this if it hurts or you hear sand. It's not left over from the beach. Now let your head hang, take a deep breath and go. With an inhale, lift your nose up only to where it's comfortable. Exhale, look over one shoulder. Hold it, keep breathing. Inhale, bring your nose back to center. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. Hold it, keep breathing. Inhale, bring your nose to center. We're all going to meet each other down on one cheek. Put your arms by your side. Palms of your hands are turned upward. Please bend your knees and crisscross those ankles a few times. Back and forth. Turn your head to the opposite cheek and drop your feet from side to side. Windshield wipers. And then drop your feet down to the floor, hands under your shoulders, hips to heels. Give yourself a child's pose. Now you can certainly roll onto your back and hug your knees to your chest. Please take just a couple of deep breaths. Let that back release. You could put your arms by your side with your palms up. That would be marvelous on your back. Take another breath here. And then we're going to lift all the way up. We're going to be on our hands and knees. We're going to do leg extensions, and if you'd like, a down dog. If you don't ever want to do a down dog, you don't have to. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. Our elbows are straight. The fingers are spread. We're rolling our toes under. Please just take that right leg out. Let's press through the heel of your foot. You may not have gotten a deep enough stretch in that forward fold. We're breathing, getting the calf stretch, your hamstrings. Now you're going to pick that right leg up and take it to the left side. Put the toes on the floor. Press through the heel of your right foot and look over your left shoulder. You may see the heel of your foot. Make sure the heel is pointing upward. It's not tilted towards the pinky toe. It's tilted outward, so you feel that in the outside of your hip. Take another breath. Then we're going to take that leg out, wiggle your ankle around, and bring your knee home. Please move your hips in circles. Some people want to come off their hands and sit back on their hips and just wiggle their hips from side to side. It's a different stretch up through the body. If your knees can handle it, I always recommend trying this. Now, come back. Let's do the other leg. Arms are straight. Spread your fingers. Take the left leg out. Toes are rolled under and press strongly through that heel. Feel that in your calves, your hamstrings. Full deep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Now let's pick that leg up. Take it to the right side. Press through the heel of your left foot. Look over the top of your right shoulder. If your neck is happy, point the heel of that left foot upward. Don't let it flop out to the side, to the pinky toe side. It gets it deeper in that hip. Left leg goes back. Wiggle your ankle a little bit and drop the knee down to the floor. Get the hip movement, whether you're up on your knees or your hips are low to your heels and you're rocking. Either way works. Now, we're going to come into frog pose today. Don't all get excited. You need your toys. You're going to need your big pillows. You're going to, ooh, that's nice and warm. That was by my heater. I'm going to lay on that. So we're going to get your yoga blocks too, your blankets. I don't know how much you need. Some of us need a lot. So what we're going to do is take the knees out wide. Get them out as wide as you can, but turn the toes inward. Now, we want to have your hips and your knees in the same alignment. This is kind of an odd thing. So at this point, you may not go very far. The groin doesn't want to stretch. We're not forcing it. You build up. You put all your yoga props under your belly, your chest, and your head, and you make yourself happy at that point and enjoy the big stretch in your groin. You do not put any props under the pubic bone. At the belly, and then you just stack everything up and you lay down forward. For those of you who are going deeper, allow those knees to go out a little further. And if you have a yoga mat, you may want to get rid of it. I used to practice this on a slick tile floor. It allows the knees to open out. Now, once you get to that spot where your groin has said, that's enough, put the props, get them high, get them low, fill that spot up, and get your belly, your chest, get something under your head. Now, if you go, I don't feel anything, most likely your hips have gone forward. They need to go between your knees. If you're in it, you go, I still don't feel anything, take the feet out a little wider. You do not want your feet out wider than your knees, but they could be in frog style. You've seen the way your dogs lay. And you're going to breathe. I don't know if cats lay like this. By the way, I did start your clock already. This is very intense in the groin, and you want to make sure you're somewhere where you can just get all your props. Now, it is a long hold. At any time, I'm going to show you how to come out of it because you may not want to stay here that long. Maybe you just slide those feet in, you lift yourself up, and you go, oh, I need one more prop under my belly, and I need a bigger pillow underneath my head. Oh, and that just releases it so it feels much better. If it hurts at the rib cage, throw a blanket over the blocks. You may still need the stability and support so you don't feel too much stretch in the groin. I do not want you to overstretch this area, and breathe. Take the time, take a look. Make sure the hips and the knees are in alignment. You can feel yourself. It's okay. I'm not going to tell on you. Make sure you're comfortable and you're relaxing. Now, most likely you have one cheek and you're looking to one side and you're resting there. Please remember to give equal billing to both sides. Turn your head to the opposite cheek and breathe there. It's going to feel different. Expect it to. Let the groin open. Let the hips open. This takes a while before this pose actually becomes comfortable. Some of us, it takes maybe 2 or 3 decades. Others of us just fall into it. Let it go. Remember, at any time you can draw the feet together and come up on your elbows and slide one knee in, then the other knee. You can come out of the pose, but we're more than halfway done. If you can stay with it, stay with it. It's one of those great poses if you can really prop yourself so you just take it to where it's okay, where it's tolerable, where you're not past your edge. It actually allows those hips to open, letting gravity pull you into it. And the hardest thing for you to do is let go of all that tight tension you're holding on. Because if you're well propped, you do not need to hold yourself up. You're relaxing into it. Remember, your prop is from your belly upward. You do not want to prop at the groin. That takes a little bit out of it. We are almost complete with the pose. We're less than a minute away. I would never let you stay here too long. Full deep breathing. Try that same technique of rising with the breath. Letting everything melt on the exhalation. A lot of times when we feel tension, stress, what we do, a natural thing is we tighten up. But actually, if we can let go of that instinct and let it go, we actually can let go of pain. We can actually get into poses deeper. Something we have to practice. We're almost complete. Now, when you come out of it, you're going to be cautious. You'll come up on your elbows and bring those feet together. You'll lift yourself gently up, but always slide one knee inward. Adjust yourself back on the other hand and slide the other knee inward. When we come out of the pose, that's when the pain starts. You go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. Bring the knees closer together until you feel comfortable enough to move your hips around. If your knees hurt, please sit on your bottom and be in the hammock and swish your knees from side to side. If you want to sit back on your heels and rock your knees from side to side, that's lovely too. And then we're going to lift ourselves up and we're going to come onto our bottoms. We're going to set up on a blanket or we are going to set up high on a pillow. We're going to shoelace it. If you can't shoelace it, most likely you can double pigeon it. So once you do come onto your yoga prop, we're going to start it out with sage twist. I'm going to get a twist in there. Tonight it's going to be our sage. We're going to first take the feet out and work your ankles around. Go one way, then the other. Flex and point your feet. Then we're going to take that left leg, cross it over your right leg. Your right hand's going to hold the knee, hug the knee, or the elbow goes to the outside. Acclimate yourself to the left side. Move any body parts you need to. Left hand goes on your collarbones. Point your elbow behind you, twist. Unfold the left arm and spread your fingers wide and look into the hand. Reach that arm out, pull the knee across the body. Turn the hand down, fingertips or flat hand, look over your shoulder. Take another breath in sage and gently turn your head, look to the right side. Draw the knee across the body, look to the right as much as you can in slow motion. Yeses with your chin. Please do not do this if it hurts. Now bring yourself back to center. Keep that left knee where it is. We're going to drop that right hand over to the side. We're going to bend the right knee and bring the right foot over to the left side, not under your hip, out to the side. We are going to adjust the top knee or left knee so the feet are out to the side. No feet are under your hips. If this is a no-no, try double pigeon. Your time has been set. It is a 3-minute pose. If you're in double pigeon, ankles are in alignment to your knees. You're squaring it. Your shins are out in front. If you did make it to shoelace, it's the same thing. Feet are out to the side. We have that symmetrical shape. We're pressing our hips to the floor. We're rolling our shoulders out of our ears. No shoulders involved. In fact, just gently pull upward. Tuck your chin ever so slightly. So if you do have a yoga mat, you're looking at the front of your yoga mat. You're breathing. Some of you go, oh, I love this pose, and you're already bowing forward and stretching your arms out. Others of you are going, holy cow, this is my nemesis. Let me give you the modified version for all of that. If that's not okay, put the ankle, left ankle on your right thigh. Make sure you have a prop under your right knee to support it so you don't hyperextend the knee. You can always put a blanket or a towel underneath that hip, that ankle there, and you're going to lean forward. So no matter where you're at, this pose should be accessible. You can even set up in a chair and put your left ankle on your right thigh and bow forward. Breathe. Take it as low as you want to. Keep it high up if you need to. We're breathing. Shoulders are relaxing. Keeping the hips pressing downward. Let those hips stretch. We're more than halfway complete with the pose. And we've kept this a 3-minute pose for a long time. All of you folks here have been kind of hardcore. If you ever want to make this longer, you can always let me know. Breathe into it. If this is easy bowing forward, you can lay all the way on your back with your legs in all those different configurations. You'll feel it more. You may need somebody to help get you up, though. Just a couple more breaths. Franco showed me how to do that, Debbie. So you know you definitely might need somebody to get you up from it.
Do you just have to bring him up every so often?
Yeah, I do. Now we're going to gently lift yourself up.
Remember, he thinks I don't know how to breathe.
I know. We're going to lift up and we're going to take that right leg out. You're going to pick that left foot up in your hand or your elbow. Rock that baby. Oh. And then hold behind your left knee. Get the forearm behind the knee. Squeeze it off. Work your ankle around. Go one way, go the other way. Debbie and I got to experience this special sadomasochist yoga teacher. And yeah, how can we not just, pay homage to him every now and then? Stretch your legs out. After all, I saw him drop everybody in the classroom on their head. Work your ankles around.
It brings up bad memories. Don't do that.
I'm sorry. It's funny to me now. Work your ankles around. Too soon for you, Debbie?
Yes.
Separate your feet and do your circles in your opposite direction, one way, then the other. Hey, he taught all us teachers what not to do. So let's do the same.
Do you mean like standing over women with shorts on and nothing else underneath?
Yeah, just pushing people to their limits. We're we're gonna take our pick wrong. No, we're gonna take our right foot and cross it over the left leg. Let's get sage twist. I swear I'll bring us back to the class. Left hand's gonna hold the knee or it's gonna hug the knee. You're gonna acclimate yourself to the right side. So full body parts out of the way. Acclimate yourself there. Right hand on your collarbones. Right elbow points you behind. You're going to open that right arm up and spread your fingers. Look into that hand. You feel muscle energy. Pull the knee across the body. Turn your right hand to the floor. Flat hand or teacup fingers. And breathe into this sage twist. We feel muscle energy. We're not relaxing. This is a yang pose. Yin and yang. This is the opposite. Turn your head slowly. Look over your left shoulder. Okay, slow motion. Don't whip your head. Yeses with your chin. Slow. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. And then gently come back to the center. Let's lean over to the left side. We're going to bend that left knee, bring the foot over to the right side. Stack your knees one on top of the other and get your feet evenly out. No feet under your tuchus. I did start your clock. Ankle on your knee if you're going for double pigeon or stacking logs. Or left leg out. You do want to have a prop underneath that left knee so you don't hyperextend it. And then you can get into it and bowing forward. Maybe you need a prop between your thigh and your ankle here. So no matter where you're at, and remember you can always pop on and ask me a question. You can always put more under your hips. Straighten those hips out. We're squaring them up. You can bow forward. You can lay back. You can hold on to your feet and just lean a little bit. Or put your arms on your thigh, not your knee, and pull onto that right thigh and press it. You're going to feel both hips in this. I'm not going to say you're going to feel one over the other. You may feel both of them at the same time. It's going to feel completely different to each side. Please make sure you have no pain in the knee joint itself. Stretching on the outside a little bit, the tissue on the outside, as long as it's okay, that's actually a good thing and may actually help your knees. We're going to breathe, but never stay anywhere where it doesn't feel good. And remember, sometimes just the smallest item sticking underneath an area may just take that irritation away. So what I just did, I had an irritation in the knee. I rolled up a sock and I stuck it right underneath the knee. It doesn't have to be a big prop. It may need just an eighth of an inch, quarter of an inch. We're more than halfway done with the pose. Hopefully I've chit-chatted you enough so that you forgot about this deep stretch. Relax through the shoulders, bowing into it, making sure you're comfortable in every breath. Yes, it's a big stretch. Yes, it may take a long time before it feels natural. There are some people that feel real comfortable setting this way naturally without ever practicing yoga. We're all built differently. Breathing, letting the hips press downward. Stay with your breath. I am watching your clock. It's not my favorite pose. I would never make you stay here any longer than you have to. We're finished. We're going to gently lift up. Did I get too excited? Take that right foot up. You're going to lean back and stretch the left leg out. Oi. Hold on to the foot or hold it in your elbow and rock that baby. Oh, Stick your forearm right behind your right knee. Squeeze the knee off. Work your ankle around. Go one way, then the other way. Stretch the leg out. Work your ankles. Flex and point your feet. You make it a couple snap, crackle, pops. And then, kids, we're going to sit back in our hammock. Bend your knees. Rock from side to side. Come on your elbows if your wrists hurt. For goodness sakes, don't give them a stress. Then we're going to take the feet out wide, knees wide apart. Press one knee down, point one knee up, and fold it and breathe. So Kelly and I decided, sorry, Debbie, we decided that our pigeon pose felt a little better if we did the shoelace or the stacking logs. We're going to bring that knee up and press the other knee down. So we're going to practice that and see if that feels good on this in this practice today, doing the double pigeon or shoelace. And then we'd be swans. Bring the knee up, and we're going to press that first knee down. Get that internal rotation. Hopefully it will make our pigeon pose feel deeper or happier. Bring that knee up and press the second knee down. Hold it and keep breathing. Now, before we come into the pose, we do a couple of little warm-ups. We're going to bring the knee up. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Flap your butterfly wings. And then we're going to let our knees rest down. Hold on to your feet. Lift your collarbones up. Bend your elbows out. Bring your elbows to your inner thighs or to the front of your shin bone. Doesn't matter where. Now, press your elbows into the leg. Tuck your chin. Give yourself that long back. Maybe you'd like to press one side to the other side. And then you're going to relax everything. Just take a breath here. Keep your chin tucked in. Lift yourself back up. Use your hands behind your knees. Either roll to one side and come on your hands and knees, or cross your ankles and come up on your hands and knees. The more you practice it, as long as your knees are healthy enough, that's actually an easy maneuver. If I got my entire class of fluffy girls to do it, all of you can do it. Now, you're going to have your hands back underneath your knees. We're going to roll our toes under. If you want to do leg extensions instead of a down dog, go for it. Leg extensions is simply this. If you'd like to do one down dog, press your hips back low to your heels. Tuck your chin into your chest. Elbows are straight. Spread your fingers. Keep your tummy to your thighs and lift your knees up off the floor. And take your puppy out for a walk by bending one knee, reaching the opposite heel to the floor. If down dog is something you've never done before, this is not the class to practice it. That's only for my down dog kids. The other folks want to just take each leg out and stretch it back. Now you know who you are. If you want to fly through it, we're going to do our right knee. So we're going to bring our right knee up between our hands. We're going to drop our right hip down onto the floor, and we're going to pull our right foot out to the left side. Can't tell you how much or how little, just to where your knee is okay. We're going to pick your right hip up off the floor, hands in front of your right shin. Get your prop ready to stick under your right hip, because we're going to roll our left toes under, lift the knee up, and press your right hip back down to the floor, close to it, and relax your left toes. Stick a prop underneath your right hip. There may be a lot of room. Maybe there's a little bit, but at least get that space filled in. We're squaring our hips to the mat. We're taking a nice deep breath. We're allowing the hips to square. In other words, that left hip is square, melting to your left heel, like your right hip is melting to your yoga prop or the floor. If it feels good, we come down onto our elbows. Maybe we grab our big pillows and stick them underneath of us. and we lay there and we cry into it. If you're not feeling it enough, I can pretty much guarantee that that right knee is not out far enough. Maybe the foot is too far down into your hip. Maybe your knee hurts and you need to pull your foot further down into your hip to take the stress off. If all of that is not any good, you need to lay on your back or legs up the wall. Put your right ankle on your left thigh. And if you're on your back, you drop your knees down to the left side, pointing the right knee up. If you're on your back with legs up the wall, you put your ankle on your thigh and you simply bend the left knee, putting the left foot on the wall. The knee is bent and you're feeling that in the hip. You're going to hold it and breathe there, whether you're on your back, legs up the wall, or on your belly. Breathe into that right hip as if it had a nose or an air supply of its own. Relax your shoulders. Let everything go. Stay with your breathing. Now remember, you don't have to be stagnant with the upper body. Please make sure your neck and shoulders are happy. You can always walk your elbows, maybe first to the left side, just to enhance that extra stretch in that right hip. Maybe you go, holy cow, I don't want to go that far, maybe just a little bit. Maybe you even want to come up on your hands and move around. Please don't feel like you're forced to stay in a position, but try to let everything let go. Let the hips let go. Try to let go the screaming in your brain. See if you can relax everything and focus on the breathing. Expanding it out wide on the inhalation. On the exhalation, letting everything melt and release. Stay with your breath. Now you can always walk your elbows to the right. And this is always a very nice twist. You can always stay on your elbow and maybe come up on your right hand and look over the right shoulder. This feels really good, a nice little twist in your rib cage. You feel a little deeper stretch in that left hip. And maybe you want to come back to the center and just stretch everything out. Kids, we're almost complete with the pose. Stay with your breathing. Remember the beauty of yin. You can come out of the pose, come back into it or not. We're on our last few seconds, kids. Big breathing. See if that right hip can let go a little bit more. And gently place your hands under your shoulders. Lift yourself gently up. If you have something under your right hip, pull it out. Lean back. Pull your right foot inward. And we're going to meet each other up on our hands and knees. If you're on your backs, hug your knees to your chest and take the knees around in circles. If you're on your knees, move those hips around in circles. Just a couple of times. And then when you're ready, press the hips back to child's pose. If you're on your backs, please hug knees to chest, nose to bent knees. Take at least 3 deep breaths in child's. Allow those hips to relax. Let them balance. Praise God, we only have 2 legs. And when you're ready, kids, let's come back up. Again, this is your choice. Would you like to do leg extensions, hands and knees, or elbows on the floor? And you can take each leg out. If you're going to do down dog, press the hips low, tummy and thighs together, elbows off the floor. Lift your knees up off the floor and take the dog out for a walk. You know who you are. If you want to down dog ecopata it, whatever feels good. Maybe you're doing the leg extensions and crossing over. And then we're going to take our left knee up between our hands. You can fly through it from down dog if you want to. Drop the left hip down on the floor. Now that right knee is going to naturally come up. That's okay. Physically pull that left foot out to the right side. And we're going to pick the hip up off the floor and get a prop near you just in case you need it. Roll the right hip to your left heel. Put your right toes under on the floor behind you. Lift the knee up and press your left hip downward. Relax your toes. Now, fill that gap between the floor and your hip with your yoga prop. Make sure your left hip is resting on something, the floor or the prop. Bring your elbows down. If you're not feeling it enough, you probably need to point the knee further out to the side, foot up higher or down low. You can always lay on your back with your left ankle on your right thigh, dropping both knees down, pointing the left knee up, holding onto the ankle if you'd like. Legs up the wall, you can have the legs up, left ankle on your right thigh, and then bend your knee and go, oh yeah, I feel that there too. All kinds of wonderful ways we can feel pigeon pose, even sitting in a chair with your left ankle on your right thigh and bowing forward. Please make all this pose accessible to yourself. You do not have to be on your belly in this configuration. There is more than one way to skin a cat. That's true. There's more than one way to skin your pigeon. Many different ways. Chairs, you can actually stand up, lay down, legs up the wall on your back. I'm sure there's probably another position I'm not thinking of. Breathing and allowing that left hip to stretch. Let your entire body release and melt. Breathing full, breathing deep. They're going to feel day and night different, your hip. The right hip always feels different from the left side. Even if you do this every day, you'll still notice some little differences, if not enormous differences. It's true for everybody. Let the outside of that left hip relax downward to the floor. Let your right hip melt to your left heel. Make sure your head, neck, shoulders are happy and comfortable as you're melting into this, no matter in what configuration you put your body in to experience swan or pigeon pose. So the reason why yin poses are called something different than their hatha counter pose is we are using no muscle energy. This is a Buddhist style of yoga because the Buddhist priests sat for days, hours, days, weeks, meditating and praying in the same position. So in order to do that and not be crippled, they came up with 20 poses that kept your lower back and your hips really healthy. So gee, if you're standing in the same position all day long at work, sitting in the same position all day long at work, mousing, typing, and all of that, is that much different than praying, other than your head's not exactly in a good space? You're kind of frozen. Your body's frozen there. So this is going deep into your connective tissue. We're not working muscles. We're stretching from bone to soft tissue. This is called the dark side of yoga, the moon side. Breathe deep into that left hip. Let it soften. Let it go. We're on the home stretch of the pose. So if you felt like what, and you haven't done it yet, maybe walk the elbows out to the right side and feel that extra stretch in the left hip. Breathing deep into it. It enhances the pose after all. If you wanted to and you haven't yet, walk your elbows over to the left side and get that nice little twist and pressing that right hip to the left heel. Again, that's not necessary. We're on our last few moments of the pose. Maybe come back to the center and let yourself melt. And you're going to gently place your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift yourself up. If you have a prop under your left hip, pull it out. Lean back on your left hip, pull that left foot inward, come up on your hands and knees. Once you've done that, move your hips around in circles. Remember, if you're on your back, bring the knees up and move the knees in circles. And of course, you can do child's pose on your back or on your knees. Please take at least 3 to 5 deep breaths in your child's pose. You could actually walk the dog. You could do leg extensions. Maybe you go, no, I just want to do child. Everybody in a yin class does something different after a pose. Some people go, oh, I just need to work out my kinks and get some circulation going. Some people go, holy cow, I just need to balance myself. Now, kids, it's time to get into the saddle. Either saddle pose or the modified bridge pose. So you'll need your yoga prop, block, maybe a Harry Potter book you use with a blanket on top to make it cushy. Whatever is good. So sometimes maybe just setting in saddle pose is getting a big bolster or a big pillow. And the reason why, even if you won't do saddle pose any deeper, getting in this position is great for your knees, your quadriceps, and the tops of your feet. It helps stretch the bones and all those tendons. So if you can do this and play with maybe leaning up against the wall or a couch, that might be just right for you. Some of you go a little bit deeper and put something a little smaller under your hips and press the hips back, and then you need the bolster to lay back onto and open your chest out. Oh, but remember, this is a back bend, but I don't want it deep in your lower back. So maybe you take your hands, stick them underneath your hips, and tuck the tailbone underneath you. Now, again, sometimes, Jill, I want you to make sure your lower back is okay. So if laying back is not good for you, but setting up on a bolster like this is okay. I'd more prefer you to do that and get that stretch in here than, really aggravate anything back there. Now, of course, if you wanted to, that bridge pose where you have your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, and you put a prop under your hip. Make sure it's under the hip and not your back. And you always make sure you extend one leg out, make sure it's safe before you let the other leg go out. And then both legs. Now, you don't have to do both legs. Never have to do that. It could be one leg at a time. I had to work through a lot of issues with my lower back before I was able to do that. So listen to your body. Takes a lot of work sometimes after we've had decades of abuse with the lower back and the hips, and some injuries to add on top of it. So I've already set your clock. Put your microphone on if you need help finding the prop, finding the pose, and finding the prop. Any way you want. You could be setting up. This could be it. It could be up on top of something high and playing with leaning back. And I'm not kidding. Use the wall. Use the couch and just kind of maybe lean back and go, oh, this is kind of nice. And I'm feeling it stretch my neck and my shoulders. And if you have a couch where you can lean back and let your neck and shoulders relax, maybe put a pillow behind there and kind of get the front here. I'm all about doing yoga in your living room because the coffee table's a great prop. The couch is a wonderful prop. Chairs, the ottoman, use them all. It's how I learned to do balance poses, was standing up right next to the coffee table so I knew where straight was. Breathe. Sometimes you just need to have one little dot touching you to show you where straight is or where you can relax into. I had a wonderful teacher. She used the expression, all the world is a prop. Use it. Don't ever be bashful about using yoga props. They're here to help us. And in fact, a more experienced yogi uses those props to help us with those issues of injuries or how we're just built. Again, some of you are laying all the way back. Some of you are just setting up, feeling that stretch. Just getting used to that. We're almost complete with the pose, folks. Everybody's in a different place. Stay with your breath. Make sure you're not over curving the lower back. Tailbone's tucked over. We're on our last moments. Hi, Milo. Milo's been here laying in front of the heater. I think he's a hot dog right now and looking for a cold yoga mat to cool off on. Now we're going to come out of the pose. I'm going to help you come out of a saddle pose first. So you'll gently come up on those elbows, hands underneath you. And once you come all the way up and you're in that configuration of just setting up, we lift ourselves forward. And just like we did in frog pose, get rid of your props and slide the knees inward and work your hips around and take the legs out in leg extensions. If you have the block underneath your hips or a prop under your hips, you bend one knee, then the other knee, the feet are on the floor. If you want to, I always like to hold on to my yoga prop and move the knees around in circles. If you don't like this, don't do this. My kids that are on the knees, maybe they'd like to walk it in a down dog or a child's pose. My kids playing with the bridge, maybe you want to drop, get rid of that block and bring the knees to the chest and round it. Everybody feels a little differently. Now, kids, we're all going to come down onto the floor. And we're just going to hug our knees into our chest. Nose to bent knees, round your back. And then we're going to let our head and our shoulders rest to the floor. I forgot one major pose and we have just enough time to do it. So I'm sorry. Come up onto your bottoms. We have to get our hamstrings. We're going to take our legs out. Set up on a pillow or a blanket. Adjust the abundance out. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to forget. Remember, roll something underneath your knees or put a yoga block underneath your knees. We're going to put our hands on the floor and spread the fingers. Heels of the hands down on the floor. Pull back gently with the heels of the hands towards the hips. Pull the chest towards your feet, but tuck your chin. Breathe here. Feel the muscle energy. Knees can be bent a lot or just a little bit or none at all. And we're all going to relax and let our head bow. Let the shoulders release. Take a deep breath and go. Before we really release into this, we're going to activate muscles with angel breath. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can interlace your hands, elbows hang. This is our weight. We're going to take a deep breath, elbows lift out wide, lift your chest up. Exhale, let your elbows float down, let your head come downward. Inhale, lift your elbows out wide, lift your chest up. Exhale, bring it down. One more time, lift your elbows out, lift your chest up. Exhale, let it float down. Let those elbows weigh you down. Drop your hands down. Prop yourself. Get your pillows underneath you. Get your yoga block under your head. Whatever you want. Ooh, that heater is nice and warm, Milo. You can allow yourself to put the pillow in front of you and let your body stretch. Don't use your hands to pull yourself into it. Let your body relax. Let the hamstrings stretch. Let your upper body be drawn forward. And breathe. You can always readjust that abundance out so that the toes turn a little more inward. They will flop outward. Breathe. Get that nice seated forward fold. Getting that deep hamstring stretch. This was not an easy pose for most people. Some people go, oh my God, I love this pose. I could stay here forever. Others are like, oh my gosh, when's the time up? I got over it because I had a teacher one time who made us hold it for 20 minutes. 20 minutes! Is that insane? First I hated the pose. Then I hated the teacher. Then I hated myself. Then I hated my hamstrings. Then I let go of the hate. I started relaxing and letting go. Finding some love and compassion in this pose. Loving my hamstrings. Loving the teacher. Loving this pose. Now that may not be your thought today. That's okay. Let's take a deep breath and go. Now you're going to keep your chin tucked in. You're going to use your hands round your back. You're going to use your hands to lift yourself up, round your back, lift all the way back up. Once you do come up, settle those hands to support you. Bend your knees. Rock your knees from side to side. We're going to do our relaxation pose sitting up today. So we're going to get those feet and the knees wide apart. If your wrists hurt, lay down on your back. Let your knees touch, feet wide apart. Breathe here. Take a breath or two. And we're going to point one knee up and press the other knee down. Bring that knee up and press the other knee down. Hold it, keep breathing. Bring that knee up and press the other knee down. Bring that one up and press that second one down. Lift both knees back up. Walk your feet and your knees towards each other. We're going to lay down onto our backs. Make sure your kitties and puppies have room too. You're going to slip the blanket or a pillow underneath your knees, but before we lay the legs out, hug behind your knees, nose to bent knees. Let your head and shoulders go and take both knees around together, like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling, going one way, then the other way. Now separate your knees and get the circles in your hips. Maybe your clunks and bumps, that's normal. Go one way, then the other way. Reach your hands between your legs, grab your feet, put a smile on your face because you're a happy baby. Stretch the leg out, bring it back in. You could hold the outsides of your feet and come into dead bug pose. Maybe you're ready to go ahead and throw those legs out over your pillow. Maybe they're flat on the floor. Maybe you need to lay on your side in Shavasana tonight because you can breathe easy. Make sure you're comfortable. Maybe you're in child's pose. Any pose at all that feels good. We're going to take a nice deep breath in and let it out with a great big sigh. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath for a moment. Sip a little more breath in and blow it out. Now take a deep breath in and let it out with Take a deep breath in and let it out with Let's try those two sounds again. Take a breath in. One more delicious sound. Notice the vibration left on your lips. Let that vibration reverberate through the entire body. Imagine every cell of the body is able to open up. Let every cell savor that delicious sensation. Find the sound of your own breath at the back of your throat. Hear the sound of your breath deepening. It's right there between your ears. Feel it flowing deeper at the back of your throat. Let it sound like a gentle wave flowing from head to toe, fingertip to fingertip, skin to bone. Let each breath soothe your whole body. Let each breath relax. Let it release the whole mind. Bringing your awareness to that spot between your eyes. Allow the tension of the day. Let it melt away, releasing deep relaxation, flowing deeply through the whole body, from head to toe, fingertip to fingertip, skin to bone. Let each breath soothe the body. More important, allow each breath to relax. Let it release the whole mind. As you start to bring yourself back, come on back to the room. Start to wiggle the toes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your ankles, wiggle your wrists. Take a nice deep breath in. Any extra stretch you'd like. Bring yourself back to the body more fully, more completely. Only when you're ready, draw the knees up. Roll to the right if it's good. Roll to the left if it's better. We're going to end with lion's roar so you can lay on your back with your knees bent. So anywhere you want, setting up, laying on your back, we're just going to gently draw your shoulders up and go. Try it one more time. Inhale, bring them up. Let them drop down. Turn your head to one side, open your mouth wide, stick your tongue out, and let's go. Close the mouth and gently shake your head, yes. Inhale, bring your nose to center, and exhale, look to the other side. Open your mouth wide, stick your tongue out, let's go. Close the mouth and gently shake your head, yes. Inhale, bring your nose to center, open your mouth wide, use your eyes to look up, and let's go. Close the mouth, tuck the chin, little, no movements. Little tiny nose, and then you bring both shoulders to your ears, lift your head up, shoulders back and down. Please bring your hands together, thumbs rest against your heart. If you choose to Om tonight, close your eyes, invite a deep breath in. Namaste.